White House is scrambling to deal with the fallout from a whistleblower claim. In a few days' time, a complaint over a phone call between Donald Trump and Ukraine's president has led to the start of an impeachment inquiry. The U.S. president says the person who handed the whistleblower the information is close to a spy. For more on this story, we can bring in our international affairs editor, Philip Turl. Good afternoon, Philip. Now, what more do we know about this whistleblower?
Okay, well, little by little, we are getting closer to finding out who this whistleblower is. First of all, nobody knew anything. Now we have found out the latest information being leaked out of the United States is that the whistleblower is a CIA officer who worked at the White House. So that explains how he or she managed to get hold of this highly classified information about this phone call. Yesterday, the transcript of the report by the whistleblower was made public. You can read that online. It's about 12 pages long. It's more informative than the transcript of the phone call, the actual phone call between Donald Trump and the Ukrainian President Zelensky, which was released a couple of days ago. And it clearly says that the White House attempted to cover up this telephone call by placing it on a different server to the ones that phone calls are normally put on, because they realized that it was highly sensitive material, and the server that it was put on was reserved for very highly sensitive calls that should not be open to scrutiny by people because they could compromise national security. So all in all, the finger is pointing more towards Donald Trump. As you said, in the meantime, Donald Trump has been indicating that he wants to know the names of the people who informed the whistleblower in a recording of him speaking, saying that they were tantamount to spies themselves, and then hinting at the fact that in the old days you knew what happened to spies, in hinting that they were going to be executed. So that has called for people called for a greater restraint on identifying this informant, because there are fears that his life could be in danger. Now, if he does actually come forward and agree to give a statement before the House Intelligence Committee, the person has said that they want their lawyers to be present before that is agreed upon. So we still don't know whether or not we're going to get that live witness account.
But because of fears for the person's life, this is why their identity is being kept secret? Is it safe to say?
I think that they don't want to be identified, obviously, because they're scared for their safety afterwards. But whatever happens, the damage, if you can call it that, has already been done as far as President Trump is concerned, because this is a growing affair, and every day some new elements seem to be coming out. And it appears that the impeachment process is going to take place, because I think the Democrats believe that they have enough elements now to be able to launch the impeachment proceedings, and the finger pointing fairly and squarely at Donald Trump.
Now, the whistleblower report has raised a lot of questions, not so many answers.
Well, that is true, and what we don't know is, the bottom line here is the phone call between Donald Trump and President Zelensky, newly elected president of Ukraine, came back in July, where Donald Trump asked for information about Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, who was working for an energy company in Ukraine. He wanted information on that because apparently a prosecutor was inquiring into that company, and Joe Biden wanted that prosecutor removed and threatened to withhold $1 billion in aid from the United States to Ukraine until that happened. The argument from Joe Biden is that the prosecutor wasn't doing his job properly and wasn't clamping down on corruption. Donald Trump is accused of having put pressure on President Zelensky to come up with dirt concerning Hunter Biden and his role in that company in a way to damage Joe Biden's chances in next year's presidential election, of which he is a candidate or hopes to be the Democratic nominee for the presidential election next year. And so with this whistleblower report, the transcript of the telephone conversation, and the fact that Donald Trump is seen in that conversation to ask for a favor in exchange for information about Hunter Biden is enough grounds for the Democrats, they say, to launch these proceedings to get the president impeached.
A quid pro quo. Thank you very much for that, Philip. Philip Turl reporting now.